What is the moderating middle? That's what I want to talk to you about today. Within the world of low, no, and light alcohol and full strength drinking, there tend to be two camps that have the strongest voices. On one side, you have the staunchly alcohol free, those who do not touch alcohol at all for whatever reason, whether they be in recovery, whether it be allergies, whether it be religion, but they don't touch alcohol. And those people can often, not always, can often be very, very vocal about the evils of alcohol, the perils of it, the dangers. They'll talk to you a lot in great detail about the links between alcohol and 7 different types of cancer, how their life is better because they don't drink, and how your life could be better if you decided not to drink. On the other side, we have those who are staunchly alcohol full, those who believe that alcohol and drinking is part of the zeitgeist of our society, that the great British culture is built up on us having that first rite of passage pint as a 16-year-old. That is what we use to wet the baby's heads. It's what we use to raise a glass to our dearly departed. And that they don't believe that alcohol will or should ever be removed from our society and our culture. Those are two very strong, very opposing points of view. In the middle, we have the moderators, those who live a life of balance between consuming alcohol and choosing times when they decide not to. Studies show that of the people that buy low, no, and light alcohol drinks, up to 99% of them are still also buying full strength beverages. That means that the majority of people who are investigating the low no way of drinking are still enjoying a full strength drinking way of life. In fact, at the CAM Drinking Differently Low and No conference last week, they showed that 75% of people in the UK consider themselves to be moderating drinkers in one way, shape, or form. Now, that may be those that choose to take time off during the week and only drink at the weekends, those who choose to give themselves a limit as to how much they can drink. Perhaps you're the kind of person that when you go out, you'll have an alcohol full drink, then an alcohol free, then an alcohol full, and so on and so forth. The moderating middle accounts for the majority of drinkers, and yet their voices aren't often heard. Very rarely will you hear somebody send out a post, put up a tweet, join a conversation about the fact that they choose to drink moderately sometimes and sometimes not. And I guess I can see why. It's understandable that you're going to have the people with the strongest opinions also having the loudest voices. But it's important that we give time and space to the moderating middle to show people that there are more than just your way or my way to live. It's not just my way or the highway. There is space in between for those people who choose to investigate a life with less alcohol on their own terms. Now, perhaps some of those people will be moving towards a life less intoxicated and may have a goal to give up alcohol altogether. Or perhaps they are quite happy carrying on with consuming alcohol, but just making a difference to the amounts and the volumes and the quantities and the ways in which they do so. There are people in the low, no, and light alcohol space who are producing alcohol-free drinks, who are creating alcohol-free awards, who are speaking at alcohol-free events, who do still consume alcohol. And these people, I think, are worth celebrating because they're the ones that are showing us that there are other ways of doing things. One of the reasons I created the magazine was to help people who are like I was a few years ago, who don't realize that they have other choices, that it's not just having to get pissed every time you leave the house, that every party you go to, you have to end up with the roaring hangover the next morning, that it's okay to finish a shift at work and have an alcohol-free beer instead of having a shot. It's okay to be part of this moderating middle because the majority of people are in this moderating middle. And perhaps if we gave a bit more of a voice to those people, perhaps if we made it so that you don't have to be in one camp or the other, then more people would be confident to add their voice to the conversation. They'd feel more accepted, they'd feel more normalized. And after all, isn't that what we're trying to do? We're just trying to normalize the choice to drink less when it suits you. So the moderating middle, I think, need to be championed. They need to be given a voice, and they need to feel that they are welcome to drink at anybody's table, because truthfully they are. And perhaps if more of us were aware of the ability or given the tools and the resources to live a life of more moderation, then fewer people wouldn't find themselves falling into that camp where alcohol becomes problematic. I know that for me, in my what I've referred to before as my professional drinking days, if there were times when I could have made other choices, if I was aware of other choices, and if I felt confident to make other choices, then a lot of times would have ended in a much different way. So, wherever you are on your journey, know that it's okay to make the choices that are best for you at the stage that you're in. A lot of people are using the term now, the season of life that you're in. So, whatever season you're in, it's okay to make those choices around alcohol or drinking less that best serve you, as long as it's a conscious choice and you're thinking about how to make the most of your life while you do it. If you are on your journey and you'd like to know a little bit more about it, then check out the Low No Drinker Personality Type Quiz. It is the first quiz of its kind that helps people who are in that moderating middle to discern whether they are a sober curious, a moderator, a blender, a mindful drinker, or perhaps a grey area drinker. You can check out the quiz in the first link below if you're watching on YouTube, or just go to lownodrinkermagazine.com and it'll pop up as you enter the website. Thanks. See you next time.